What's up, everybody? You're back in here with the Pro Football Pod. You've got Hulk, you've got Coach, I believe, Austin, I believe. They're over there somewhere. What's up, fellas? We got the Raiders scheduled prediction today. Let's see how the record's going to shape out for them this year. Got a lot of changes to go through with you guys. Hit that subscribe button down below. Every 500 subscribers, we're giving away jerseys out here. We're very close to that first benchmark. Help us, help you. The channel grows, the giveaways will grow. We're willing to help you guys out. So, fellas, the Las Vegas Raiders, they've got a lot of changes, and I was actually a big fan of most of the moves that they made this offseason. First and foremost, they brought in Pete Carrol to be their new head coach after Antonio Pierce got let go 1 year at the helm for him. They also brought in Chip Kelly as OC, and I like that move a lot because I think Chip Kelly is a much better OC than he is a head coach. Geno Smith comes in for them to give them new life at quarterback. Everybody kind of thought they'd be looking to move up for Shadur or somebody like that. They weren't in really the greatest position to get a quarterback of their choice, which it wasn't a very strong class. So I like the move with them going with Geno. He signed a 2-year deal with them. So expect them to draft somebody next year. They lost their linebackers, Robert Spillane and Divine Diablo, but they added Elandon Roberts, Devin White, and Jermaine Pratt, all on 1-year deals. So Band-Aids for them on the defense. They lost Trevon Moehrig and Nate Hobbs, but they brought back in Jeremy Chin and Eric Stokes. And for my money, I like the 2 players they brought in versus the 2 guys they lost. Malcolm Kuntz got re-signed for him, and they extended Adam Butler at defensive tackle as well. Alex Kappa, the journeyman guard, he came in for a 2-year deal. They also brought in Raheem Mostert at running back to help bolster that backfield for him. So, like, a lot of the moves that they made to me were team-friendly moves with some real, like, veteran leadership coming in. In the draft, Ashton Gianti, number 6 overall for them. I think that was a home run hit. That was kind of what we were mocking pretty much throughout the whole season for them. I love the pick of Jack Besh at wide receiver in round 2. I think he's going to be a baller for them. They need help at wide receiver desperately, so that's a solid move for them. Cornerback Darian Porter from Iowa State in the 3rd round, as well as guard center Caleb Rogers from Texas Tech, and Charles Grant, who gives them just overall versatility across the entire offensive line in the 3rd round. Dante Thornton, the burner from Tennessee in round 4, as well as one of my favorite just name guys, Tonka Hemingway at defensive tackle in the 4th round. And they filled it out. Like, the ones in the day 3 that kind of made the most noise was them taking 2 quarterbacks with Tommy Mello and Cam Miller from North Dakota State. These guys are more of from everything I've understood, a Julian Edelman projection. They played quarterback, but they were athletic enough to where, and they're too undersized and not, honestly, like, just not good quarterbacks for the NFL, but they're going to have roles in other positions for them. So you love to see that.
And with having Tom Brady as the owner, that tracks to have like that level of like insight on like, let's get some like football IQ guys into our receiving core.
You better believe you're going to see Julian Edelman out there at some point just being an advisor during the offseason, just to kind of get those guys like in the mindset. And I love when quarterbacks are able to change position like that, because not every position understands what the quarterback has to go through or what they're looking for. Versus when you've played the position, if you go to wide receiver, I know the quarterback off of my route is looking at this window right here. And that's what Julian Edelman was just a master at, was finding the window, running the routes on the correct timing for his guy. And so for me, it's one of those, like, you don't expect it to work out, but it's going to be exciting if it does.
Potentially greatest tight end of all time, Travis Kelce. Used to play quarterback in high school. I don't think that he did in college. I'm pretty sure he transitioned right away to tight end, but still, like, had that knowledge, had that, like, ability to dissect the game, it's super valuable.
He just literally will sit in a window and just mirror Pat Mahomes. They talk about it every primetime game. Chris Collinsworth, he'll point it out 17 times a game. But it's true, though. Like you watch him run his routes and stuff, and he just knows this is where the window's going to be. I'm just going to see if Pat wants it.
Yep.
And so, like, yeah, if you can give them that, that's awesome. They still have Brock Bowers coming back. Michael Mayer's still on the roster now. He might possibly get traded, but to me, I think it makes more sense for them to keep him. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Again, subscribe down below. All right. Week 1, they're going on the road to the New England Patriots. Excuse me. Week 2, they're at home versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Week 3, they're on the road versus the Washington Commanders. Week 4, they're at home versus the Chicago Bears. I have them going 1-3 in that stretch, with their one win being week 1 at New England.
So, with my continuity of keeping all of my picks that I've been making so far this offseason, I had them losing to New England. Now, as I look at it on like a whole season for Las Vegas, I don't honestly think that they're going to be as bad as I had them projected. But I had them losing a lot of games to like really close games to good teams. And I do think, even though it's week 1 with a brand new, organization going in with New England, I think Vrabel is going to have the type of pieces in place to pull out a victory. So I do have them going 0-4 in the first 4 games. I think Chargers, Washington, Chicago, they're outclassed. I think New England would be a very close game. Travion Henderson probably won't be taking over that game just yet. But with everything that they already have, with Drake May having another year, I think that a lot of their pieces are just Band-Aids, and that it'll help them to get better over the next 2 or 3 years. But I don't think that anything that they did this offseason, including adding Genty, makes them a contender or like a competitor week in, week out versus any team.
I agree with that. And I gave them a win more on the lines of Pete Carrol and Geno Smith going in there and just stealing one. Like, Vrabel's still got to get time for the team to get everybody together. I still don't think the Patriots have the most fantastic weapons. Like, Stephon Diggs at this point in his career doesn't necessarily move the needle for me. Yes, Drake May getting a full offseason of the starter is going to help them. But I looked at that as I could see Pete and the boys going in week 1, stealing one, and then on that high, drop the next 3. Because I think just talent-wise, Chicago has the better roster. I initially had the Raiders winning that game, but after thinking on it a little more, just Chicago's roster, Ben Johnson's offensive mind, it was hard for me to really give the Raiders that win on that. And Chicago
Especially
fans travel really well. So that being in Vegas, I don't think that necessarily matters too much either.
Yeah.
Austin, what'd you have them with the first 4?
0-4 in that stretch. They ain't winning a game in that.
Yep. Okay. All right. Moving on. Next 4 games. Week 5, they're on the road versus Indianapolis. Week 6, they're at home versus Tennessee. Week 7, they're on the road versus Kansas City. Week 9, after their bye, and week 8, they're at home versus Jacksonville. I've got them going 2-2 in that stretch, winning versus Indy and Tennessee.
So again, in the hopes of continuity, I had them already losing versus Tennessee, Indianapolis, and Jacksonville. And I do stick by that. I think that Tennessee, with as bad as their roster is, I think that they're the type of team that could win even on the road versus Las Vegas. I think that's probably going to be the closest game of the 4. I think Jacksonville's a much better roster, especially with those 2 receivers that they have now. And like the potential running game that they have with those 2 running backs. And then Indy, even with Danny Dimes.
I'm not high on Indy at all this year. Like, either one of their quarterbacks, I'm not high on. They both need to prove it to the entire league. I think their defense is okay. So like that, to me, it was one of those, like, I just don't think Indy and Tennessee are shaped up to be anywhere near decent this year.
I think I mean I did pick Indy before the Anthony Richardson shoulder injury, which we still don't have enough information to like make good, valuable insight on. I'm gonna stick with it though and say that they just go 0-4 in this stretch too. I could easily change my mind and give them 2 wins. I want to stick with what I've said in the past, even though things have changed since then. Um, they're not a very good roster. Geno Smith, everybody in this system except for like Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers is new to this team. Their whole defense has to like learn to play together. There's gonna definitely be a bunch of mistakes that are gonna happen. So I'm not super confident. I'll still stick with the 0-4.
What do you got him in that next stretch, Austin?
0-4, baby.
0-4 with the tiny hand. Man, all right. So, hey, Raiders fans.
So, wait, I wasn't going crazy. Austin has a really tiny
unloading on the comments right now. Just tell them, ask them why they hate you so much. I don't understand. But when you do, subscribe. All right, moving on. Week 10, they're on the road versus Denver. Week 11, they're at home versus Dallas. Week 12, they're at home versus Cleveland. Week 13, they're on the road versus the Chargers. I've got them 1-3 in that stretch, with their lone win being Cleveland.
I have a lot of teams beating Cleveland that are really bad teams, that are like, they're losing almost every game this year, but they can squeeze a win out against like Cleveland or New Orleans or even the Jets. And this is another one of those situations. I think that they definitely could beat Cleveland, especially at home. Even though we've talked about it a bunch, the Las Vegas feels a lot like Los Angeles. Doesn't really feel like that much of a home game compared to when they played in Oakland. Black Hole was like not a place.
No, and that's what you get for moving to like one of the most popular tourist destinations in America.
Exactly.
Like they knew that was going to happen.
Yep. Raiders fans they're not going to be able to travel like that whenever, people are fans of everything everywhere. There's going to be people wearing freaking Dolphins jerseys that are going to go to that game. Like, they don't care.
It's still got like the coolest nickname to a stadium though, like unofficial nickname, like the Death Star. Like that's just awesome.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. I just knew it as Allegiant.
Oh, really? Yeah, no, that's kind of like it's Allegiant Stadium or whatever. I think that's what it is, Allegiant Stadium, but it's essentially like monikered like the Death Star.
Nice.
Because that's what it kind of looks like.
Now, we have talked a bunch about the Chargers and how high we are on them as a channel. Like, all three of us are pretty high on the Chargers. I think that they are going to likely sweep Las Vegas. I don't think I have Las Vegas taking a single win in this division.
I don't.
Which tracks. I mean, they're definitely not competing at a divisional level, and this is a very tough division. But especially at Los Angeles, even without a home field advantage, I think that they can pull out a win.
I'm willing to say this division is the best coached division in the league.
I mean, Sean
like
Payton,
Pete Carroll, Sean Payton, Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh. Like, there's a reason I put the coaches on the thumbnails this week. Like, to me, like, those are the stars of the teams. Like, and I love that. Like, this guy is leading the ship. And if it doesn't work with this guy, we're blowing everything up.
I hate to say this, but I think that this might be Pete Carroll's last stop as a coach.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He wasn't coaching anywhere before this. He was just chilling, and then just like his obsession creeps in, and it's just like, yeah, I'll coach again.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked to see Pete be there maybe 3 years.
Yeah, honestly.
3-4 years, try to set it up for the next guy, like get the foundation of the team and, ride out. Because Pete's the oldest coach in the league by far.
Easily, yeah.
Like, great shape. Like, the guy's almost 80 years old, and he's just, you would not be able to tell. He's just moving like a 60-year-old out there.
Just
love it. All right, Austin, what do you got him in that stretch right there?
0-4 again.
Wow.
I love them, but they're gonna have to
You
fight.
do not love them.
I mean, they're
You
gonna
don't
have to
love them at
fight.
all.
They
You
can
haven't
be
win?
close in
What
games
about
and not
Cleveland?
win.
Didn't you
got
see
them
how bad
12 right
Shadur's
now.
been doing in camp?
Huh?
Didn't you see how bad Shadur's
No,
been
I
doing
saw how
in camp?
good he was doing.
I've
Maybe
heard
we're getting
really
different
bad,
content.
really bad reports coming out of camp on him. Just
Well, I
like
know how.
inaccurate and like.
Well, I heard that about like Jamar Chase in camp. He couldn't catch a ball, and then he comes out and he starts balling. So I mean, it happens.
Jamar Chase was taking like top 5.
A little
Shador
different when you go
Sanders
from
Shador Sanders
football
was
to
supposed
running
to
an
be
entire
taking
offense.
top 5.
Yeah,
Supposed to be.
I mean,
it's a different level.
Yeah,
the
in
talent slipped.
delusional people's minds, he was supposed to be.
Delusional.
If you ask this
mean,
channel,
we
they said
did-
he was a second round at best.
We did in the very first mock draft have him going in the first round, but that was the
Because
only
that's
one.
what we thought was going to happen.
Back in February, if we're
Yeah,
being
and I
honest.
remember saying back in February, I was saying like, okay, we're picking him here, but I do not think he should go here.
Yeah.
So I just, like this side of the channel was not about that life. That side was about that
You
life.
turning red? You going Red Hulk? on
You're
us?
making me angry.
Yeah, you're literally turning into Red Hulk on us right now. What is happening, Harrison? Good
I don't
grief.
know. I don't know. We're
It's
fucked.
whatever. It's whatever.
Final 5. Here we go. We've got at home versus Denver, week 14, week 15 at Philly, week 16 at Houston, week 17 at home versus the Giants, week 18 at home versus Kansas City. That is one hell of a way to end your season. I've got them 1-4 in that stretch, taking the victory versus the Giants.
Here we go. I agree
So I've
with you
got them
there.
finishing 5-12 on the season.
I got 1-16.
Yeah, I had the Giants finishing 1-16 because I also had Las Vegas winning that game.
So we've got 1 win, 2 wins, and 5 wins. So either way, the Raiders are probably picking top 5 next year.
Damn right.
Yeah, the Giants
So
I only have beating
to
New
this point,
Orleans.
if my thoughts are correctly, we think the worst teams in the league will be New Orleans, the Giants, Cleveland, and Vegas so far.
I also have Carolina. Personally, I have them at 2-14. I have Indy at 3-14. I have New Orleans and the Giants at 1-16, and I have the Jets at 1.
So you think there's just going to be a lot of shitty teams this year?
Yeah, I also have Tennessee at 2-15. And I know that realistically, even though I'm keeping track of all the wins and losses, that all these teams are not going to have sub-5 wins. Like, they're going to squeeze one out here and there.
I want
it's
you
the
on
NFL.
that spreadsheet whenever you we do all of these and you get done throughout the season. I want you to the ones that you get right, mark them in green, and the ones that you get wrong, mark them in red, because I want to see at the end of the year how it lines up for you.
I like that. Again, I'm being very blanket statement on my analysis on these teams. I'm not being very kind. I'm not giving them I'm going off the roster and the coaching and just
See, I like
right
to be
now,
a little nice and give a benefit of the doubt with some things. And
Yeah.
I'm just all right, how could they pull out a win here? Let's go ahead and give it to them. So, all right. Hey, guys, either way, Raiders fans, it's going to be a bit of a struggle for you this year, but I still love what you guys are doing as far as just building a new foundation and trying to get something started there. In the comments, tell us how dumb we are. Tell us if we hit it on the head. We love all the feedback. Tell your friends to subscribe because we're trying to give away jerseys out here. We'll give out multiple jerseys. Help us, help you. TulsiRoseT.com is the sponsor. Stay tuned for more episodes this week. Peace out.
Doses Raider Nation.